Hi, my name is Joanie Johnson, and I'm one of the co-founders of FPC Fit Pregnancy Club here in New York City. And today we're going to put you through some labor training. So as always, before you start any kind of exercise program, I want you to consult your doctor or care provider. We are going to start with a little bit of a breathing exercise that is the foundation here at FPC. We are going to focus on breathing into the diaphragm instead of the upper chest, the upper body, and also activating the pelvic floor and engaging the abdominal muscles at the same time. So I want you to find a comfortable position, bring both hands to the belly, open up, widen through the chest. As you inhale, I want you to send that air deep and low into the diaphragm. You could also think of it as a belly breath. So as we inhale, we're gonna fill and release. And then as we exhale, we're gonna feel the abdominal wall kind of tighten, firm up, and hug the baby closer to our bodies. So inhale, fill, relax those muscles. You can kind of expand the abdominal wall out. And then exhale, wrap the transverse, that deep corset muscle. Firm up the abs, hug the baby close. Good, we're gonna inhale, fill, expand. Exhale, we call this the belly pump. So your diaphragm is pumping air in and out of your body, that abdominal wall is releasing, and then it's engaging on every single exhale. This is also a way we can continue to do abdominal work throughout pregnancy when traditional crunches are no longer allowed. So we're gonna inhale, fill, one more here, exhale, pump. Now, the tricky part, I want you to incorporate your pelvic floor at the same time. Pelvic floor is a grid of muscles at the bottom of our bodies here. So as you inhale, I want you to release and expand those muscles. So just think open, wide, and then as you exhale, you're gonna lift that pelvic floor up towards the center of the body. Think of those muscles supporting the uterus, the baby, all of those internal organs on the exhale. Inhale, fill, release, expand. Exhale, we're gonna pump the abdominal wall, lift up to the pelvic floor. This is your pump and Kegel. Inhale, fill, release. Exhale, wrap, lift through the pelvic floor. One more time. Inhale, fill, release. Exhale, pump and Kegel. Good, let's start with a warm up. We're gonna inhale the arms over the head. Exhale, lots of strength as we come down. Two more times. Inhale up, exhale down, inhale up, exhale down. Take that arm over your head. We're just gonna reach side to side. I want you to put a knee bend through the center. So we're trying to warm up the upper body, the lower body. Good. Lots of strength in the core. We don't wanna over twist. We wanna make sure that the core is our powerhouse. So all of the movement is initiating from there. Give me some reaches to the front. Good. Let's do 10 of these. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just take some nice big hip circles here, loosening up the ligaments, the joints, and the hips. This feels really good later on in pregnancy. Go the other direction. Nice. 2 more circles around. And then we're gonna pick up the knees. So depending on how far along you are in pregnancy, these knees might have to go pretty far out to the sides. But just get them up, we're moving. We're gonna take some kickbacks. We're gonna loosen up those quads, the front part of the thighs here. Take the elbows, pump them behind you. Good, give me 4 more of these. 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice big inhale up again, and exhale down. Okay, so what we're about to go into is gonna really work that cardiovascular muscle. That's the goal. We're testing our endurance. We're preparing ourselves for labor. Think of it as a contraction. A contraction is gonna push, let's say for about a minute, pretty hard. We have no control over that. So we wanna train our bodies and our minds to be able to make it through that contraction with ease and strength. So we're gonna go one exercise for a minute, and then we're gonna rest in between those contractions for 30 seconds. Try to regain that belly pump breath. Are you ready? Okay, so we're gonna start with the first one. It's called a squat pull. If you have weights and you wanna add them as an additional part of this workout, feel free to pick them up. We're gonna just expand the arms out in front of us, and then we're gonna exhale, take a little bit of a seat as we go side to side. And we're gonna start the timer. We're gonna do these for a full minute. The goal here is to get the heart rate up, but you have to listen to your own body. So we always wanna make sure that we're not dizzy, we're not totally breathless, that we can't talk. You wanna be able to carry on a conversation as you're working out in pregnancy. Good. As we sit back, get into those glutes a little bit so you're really sticking your butt out behind you. We're opening through the chest. Good. You can see I'm already getting a little winded. That's great. We want to keep that up. Push at your highest energy level today. It might not be the same tomorrow. We've got about 15 more seconds here. And I want you to think about, where is the pelvic floor? Have you turned it off? If so, I want you to turn it on. Lift up through that pelvic floor. Give me 5 more seconds. 4, yes, and 1. If you have weights, you're gonna set them down. We're gonna bring one hand to our upper chest, one hand to the baby. I want you to focus internally here. And we're just gonna catch our breath. This is your 30-second rest between contractions. The goal is to get back to that belly pump breath. You're sending the air deep and low into the body. Good, so it might take a few upper chest breaths to regain that. A few more seconds only. And we're gonna jump back into it. We're gonna go into a half jack. Weights are optional. What we're gonna do is reach out side to side. So we're not doing a full jumping jack. And we're taking that arm overhead. Wrapping that abdominal wall, lifting up through the pelvic floor. Good. And the tendency here is to maybe over twist. I want you to think of that core as your powerhouse. So all of the movement is initiating from the center of your body, and that's gonna help give you some stability. Good, we're huffing and puffing through this. We're gonna do a few more rounds. This is round 2 of 5, so start to mentally prepare yourself. Labor's no joke. Good, keep going. We're over halfway there. If you have weights, they start to feel a little heavy, go ahead and put them down. Good. 3, 2, and we've got it. 1. Good. Put those weights down. We're gonna try to catch our breath again. One hand on the upper chest, one hand on the baby. Breathing into it. Careful of your posture in this position. We're tired, so if you're trying to arch into that lower back and lock out your knees, I want you to put a micro bend there. Widen across the shoulder blades. 15 seconds left. Short break between those contractions, but it's super important to really focus in on your body. Good, re-energize. 2 more seconds. Good, reach down, grab your weights again if you're using them. Open up through the body. We're gonna take a squat and then we're gonna kick through the heel. Keeping this up for a minute. Squats, weight is in the heels. You've got a deep crease in the hip joint as your butt goes back. You're keeping the chest open and the back is straight. I want you to imagine that you're kicking down a door. So think of this as about halfway through those contractions. This is your halfway point. We've got to really find that strength. Ooh, good. Kick it out, we're halfway there. If the weights start to weigh you down, you're losing form, go ahead and put them on the ground. 15 more seconds left. Weight in the heels. Almost there. If you need to stop at any point in time to grab a sip of water, take that for yourself. Good. 2 more. Last one. Nice. Weights go down. One hand on your upper chest, one hand on the baby. It's getting harder to go back to that belly pump breath now as we work out a little harder. So breathe into it. Remind yourself, the sooner you can get back to that belly pump, the sooner you're gonna regain control, focus, and be able to re-energize your body. It'll also slow your heart rate, bring more calm into your labor. And we're going into the next one, weights if you're using them. We're gonna take an overhead pull down as we raise the knees side to side, making room for baby as the knees come up. As your arms go overhead, make sure your shoulders are still drawing down your back. We don't want to crunch the shoulders up to the ears. Good. And find that belly pump. I want you to wrap the abdominal wall, lift through that pelvic floor, just turn it on and keep it on through these faster movements. Good. Totally winded here. We're halfway there. Yeah, this is 4 of 5, so we've got one more after this. You can do it. We can do anything for a minute. Labor's not gonna care if we've conditioned ourselves or not. So this is the time to really train and strengthen our bodies and minds. 10 more seconds. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Weights go down. Back to that belly pump breath. Focus on your heart. Feel that extra blood flow in the body. Acknowledge that lifeline between your heart and the baby. Try to get back to that diaphragm filling. About 10 more seconds here. Going into our grand finale, which is less cardio, more strength. So think of this as your last push before you meet that baby. We're gonna go into a squat. Weight in the heels, chest is open, palms at the front. We're just gonna take a little pulse here. So I'm showing you the form that we're turning on those glutes by really sticking the butt out behind us. And we've got a nice straight back. We're not rounded in the spine. Good. So we're just gonna pulse this out. A minute is a long time to do these pulses. So if you need to reset, take a breath like I do. We're gonna go right back into it. Good. We are halfway there. And again, think of this as the grand finale. This is your last big push, the last big contraction before you meet that newborn. Good, almost there. 20 more seconds. Nice, reset when you need it, grab water when you need it. 15 seconds left. Oh. Good, 10 more seconds. Hang on to it, you can do this. 1 minute, you can do this for 1 minute. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome job. Let's go back to that belly pump breath one last time. Micro bend in the knees if you're locked out. Open through the chest. Slow down the breath. Ooh. Grab water if you need it. About 15 more seconds here to regain our composure, our focus, re-energize. Nice. And then let's take ourselves down to the mat to do a nice big stretch. So I want you to inhale the arms overhead. We're just gonna exhale down to the center of the body. Release the weight of the head and the neck. Put a little bit of air on your next inhale into the back of your spine. Release that lower back. Bring your hands down to the floor. I want you to come down to all fours into a cat-cow. Inhale, look up. Exhale, round. Inhale, up. Exhale, round. Back to neutral pelvis. Just take some easy circles here in the hips. Loosen up those hip joints, the ligaments, go the other way. I want you to sit back on your heels, open through the chest. Take that quad stretch. So take this down as far as you need to feel that stretch at the front of the legs. Using the breath to support. Inhale. And as you can hear, I'm still a little bit out of breath. So if you are as well, that's a good sign. You've strengthened that heart muscle. Good, come back to all fours. Let's take a figure 4 stretch. So we're gonna cross our ankle over our knee, pull that knee in close to your body. Inhale, exhale. Good, you should be feeling pretty good. Sweat dripping, heart beating, feeling really powerful. Over to the other side. Ankle over knee, pull it back as far as you need to feel it. Just take a moment to acknowledge that strength and that power. And know that this is a place that you can tap into in pregnancy, in labor, delivery, and motherhood as well. Take it out. We're gonna take the leg in front, flex to the toes, lift up out of the hips, bend forward. Use that breath to support the stretch. You're gonna exhale, try to deepen it. Roll yourself up out of it, over to the other side. Lift up out of the hips. Exhale forward. Good, come up, bring the soles of the feet together. One last stretch here. Lengthening the spine, coming forward. And then we're gonna end with that focus, that belly breath. So sit in any comfortable seated position. Bring both hands back to the belly. Open up to the chest, head reaching towards the ceiling. And I want you to close your eyes. Try to release all of those abdominal core muscles. I want you to do a little manual massage if that helps those muscles release. Imagine that deep TVA, that corset muscle that's doing so much work to hold up the belly. Just let it go. Let the belly be heavy. I want you to release the pelvic floor. So think of the pelvic floor opening, widening, and acknowledge how important that opening is going to be for birth, delivery. Feeling that release, that feeling of just letting go. And then bringing the focus back to the diaphragm, no muscle activation. We're just gonna breathe in, nice and soft, into the belly. I want you to tap into your inner strength, your intuition. Feel all those feelings come to the surface. And feel a little bit of pride in that strength. Good, and one more breath. Inhale, fill. Exhale, release.